everyone, I'm Becky.
I'm Sarah.
And we're doing Bickering book reviews. Today we're talking about Listen to Your Heart by Kasie West. And I got this from Scholastic through Edelweiss.
So I got it through Edelweiss, but then I also, at the library in Book Buzz, I found a print arc, and it was glorious.
I had a print arc too, but I gave it to somebody else.
I didn't, because I like to read print arcs.
I like the font big. So this
See, but even if I make the font big, it still hurts my eyes.
See, and reading, I've gotten to where, I read a book yesterday, in book, and I'm like, why is this font so small? Yeah, I'm blind. So Listen to Your Heart is about Kate Bailey, and she doesn't want to do anything more than to live on the lake, but when she gets cast as the new host of the school's podcast, her horizons begin to widen. But as Kate wants more, she starts to connect with Diego, the boy her best friend has a crush on. Can she discover who she is and who she really likes without losing her friend? That's kind of very vague.
As far as plots go, this is probably one of Kasie West's, most boring, but I loved it. I loved it more than the, past two that I've read.
See, and I was just like, oh, it's just another cute little romance. I mean, she always brings it. I actually, first of all, her books have a surprisingly high Lexile for anybody who cares about
That's because they're well written.
Well, and I was and they're always very tween safe. And so I appreciate that. And so that's why I keep reading them. But this just felt like everything else, it was, very similar to her other stuff. It's just, a cute little romance, and, the girl has a problem, and she overcomes it. And, I mean, it took me, a day to read. It was no...
It could have spun off into this, dramatic thing, but then it didn't, and I was like, okay, cool, I can go with this.
Yeah,
so, it's kind of funny, because we read the Morgan Matson book, and I don't... I couldn't describe why I didn't like it. And, for this one, I can't describe why I did. Because they're both, I feel like they're very similar.
See, I don't see that at all. I don't think they're... So, to me, it was just, I liked it, but it was...
No, I really liked it. It was simple. It was cute. It was quick. It was well written.
I liked that she did the podcast thing, because that's very relevant right now. I also, reading it, I kept thinking, she does very basic, relatable stories, but she sets them in kind of interesting places. A lot of people, every book is, Los Angeles or New York, but this was, on a lake somewhere. And then, the book where the kids were locked in the library, that was, a small town. But it's almost, makes them more relatable, if that makes sense.
Well, and I think what I can appreciate, and I'm, really trying not to get too much into it because I don't want to give any spoilers, but... a lot of times, authors will have their characters grow into, will force them into these boxes where, they will grow into being what everybody expects. But I don't think that this character, she did what she had to do, but she didn't change who she was. It doesn't, the growth that was going on doesn't seem yeah, she grew into being more independent, but she won't trade away who she is to be that person. I'm being super vague and very confusing because I don't want to give anything away, but I appreciate the growth, but also the lack of growth. I guess it wasn't really a lack of growth, but more coming into her own and saying, no, this isn't right for me.
Right.
But I can still do it.
Yeah.
So that I appreciate.
Yeah, I really don't have that much to say because, like I said, it was a cute little romance. It was perfectly fine. I mean, yes, I actually just gave a Kasie West book to a kid the other day because they needed, lots of AR points, and her books are lots of AR points. Should we just rate it?
Yeah.
So the top of our rating system starts with 5 unicorns. We go down to 2 unicorns. If we don't like it, it's a horse.
So I'm at 4 unicorns. I really enjoyed this. I like the plot. I like the characters. I think it was even better than the past 2 books that I've read by her. So,
I'm at a 3.
I'm about it.
Yeah, I'm at a 3. It was a cute little romance.
Okay.
Yeah. And so that's where we are on Listen to Your Heart.
All right, see ya.
Bye.